When I was 13, I lived with my grandmother for a year. During this year, I saw her follow this one guy on TV. He would be there every morning, bringing yoga to the masses. He showed everybody the most difficult postures, but also made it super accessible. There were also these strange breathing techniques, like you see on your screen, that I found really funny. But I was intrigued, and so to give my grandma company and challenge my body, I followed along. And if this were a yoga ad, I'd say I've practiced every day since. But that is quite far from the truth. I dabbled in yoga practice for years as a form of exercise, but I wasn't consistent at all. And the yoga that I knew was all about postures and not a way of life. Here I am at 24 doing cool poses on the beach with my friends. And at 25, I did my first headstand. But it was never about practice, just performance and showing off my flexibility. I was always scared to go to the gym, but at 28, I got introduced to a form of strength training called powerlifting. I did my first deadlift, my first back squat, and I could finally bench as well. Heavier weights meant stronger muscles, but that also meant that yoga faded into the background. This is me, more than a year in, trying to fix my squat because for some reason I just had really tight hips, really tight ankles, and mobility was nowhere to be found. So I was trying my best with all the assists possible to perfect my squat. And then I thought, maybe it's time to go back to my friend, go back to yoga. But this time it wasn't about showing off my flexibility or to do that crazy pose. It was to move better, to feel better, and maybe even to heal. But don't get me wrong, it's not like I suddenly became the perfect yogi after that. I'm still not as consistent as I would like to be. But what has changed is that I feel I can reconnect a bit more with my body. And dare I say, with my mind. So now to learn the yoga way of life and to intensify my practice, I have signed up for a 200-hour yoga teacher training course. And one would think that it would be about perfecting your postures just like you learn in a yoga class, but that's less than half of it. There is a lot to learn about the history of yoga, the philosophy of yoga, anatomy, physiology, Ayurveda, and something that I have always found really difficult to do, to meditate. If you're here till the end, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm currently doing a 30-hour online course in preparation for my actual residential program, which starts in a week. So in my next video, I hope to be able to take you through more detail about the program itself. So until then, bye.